Hi, friends. I want to talk today about something I want to confess. I did not grow up as a child who made her bed. It was just not something that I liked to do. It felt like, I'd rather just get up and get my day going. And I was always so focused on school or getting to school on time as a kid. I think I was always running late, maybe as a kid. And so I just never made my bed until I got to prison. And then I had no choice because in prison, absolutely you're required to make your bed, like it's part of the morning check by the guards. And so I remember I would get up in the morning, and many of you know that I the first thing I would do is I would write my gratitude journal and write down three things I was grateful for, three things I was hoping to accomplish during the day. But right after I would write my gratitude journal, even before I got down off the top bunk, I would make my bed. So I had to have the sheets taut, the corners perfect, the blanket folded perfect on one side of the bed, the pillow was at a specific place, and then I would, get down from the bunk bed and then tuck everything in really tight. And this was something that was so foreign to me. And so as I did this, for the 6 months that I was in prison, a new sense of freedom came over me because it wasn't that I had to. I mean, I did have to, right? I mean, I could choose to get in trouble. Um, but it was like a freedom to be able to do this. And it gave me a sense of order and intention. And I found sort of gratitude in the ability that I could control my own day by starting it out in this powerful way. Of course, we know Admiral McRaven a few years ago in his commencement address to students actually brought this up, right? And God, that video's gone viral of how if we just have the small habit of making our bed every morning, it sets the tone for the day. And then when you come home at night, your bed's already made and it sets the tone for the next day. And I didn't really understand that. And as I've focused more and more and realized that ever since I've come home from prison, I make my bed, every morning. And it's something that I actually like to do. It's how I start my morning. It's how I, kind of care for my mind and my energy. I focus my energy for the people around me. It gives me a sense of presence and like a commitment to what am I going to do today? And how am I going to show up as my authentic self? And so for me, all of that is tied into my identity. And it starts with, for me and my mindset, starting it out right. So getting up, making my bed, making sure my room is, tidy. And yes, it started because I had to do it in prison. And as I've grown and as I've, come into my own, it's like, this is how I choose to rise every morning because it's really hard. I wake up in the mornings and oftentimes kind of have to remind myself, God, I went through this really hard thing, this struggle. And I spent my whole life thinking I could avoid the struggle until I realized I was wrong. And I faced one of the biggest struggles, right? And none of you will face that struggle, hopefully, but you will face a struggle because that is the universal truth. And if we can remind ourselves to create each day with intention, that no matter what struggle we're facing, we can rise. For me, it starts with making my bed. So I encourage all of you to make your bed today. Think about what are you feeling and what are your emotions? What are the thoughts going on through your head while you're making your bed? Because that also is important. How do we control our thoughts and our emotions and our self-talk, right? What's our inner voice? Are we paying attention to our inner voice? All of that is wrapped into those moments where we're just taking for time for ourselves. So today, this week's newsletter, this week's topic is make your bed. Find yourself. You have the freedom to do it. How are you going to start your day with intention and energy and become your most authentic self and then continue to rise? Thanks, guys.